door, she paused, struck, as usual, by Everland's quiet. Manhattan had been a noisy symphony of jackhammers, cab horns, loud neighbors, and police sirens. Here, the coastal breeze rustled the 100-year-old live oaks, lining the shady street, dripping moss from thick, gnarled branches. A bird sang, a dog barked, a neighbor tuned a mandolin on a front porch swing. Just another September morning in small-town Georgia. Her orange car Pumpkin started on the third try, the gaslight blinking on. Forehead meet steering wheel. Her least favorite game was playing How Low Can You Go with her gas tank. But there wasn't a choice. She didn't have enough funds in her checking account to afford a refuel, not after giving Letty Sue, a park waitress, her last $100 before tomorrow's payday. Yesterday, the single mom had broken down in the staff room over her inability to cover next week's daycare bill. Afterward, Tuesday had snuck to the snack bar to make an ATM withdrawal and had left an anonymous envelope in her coworker's locker. She didn't regret giving the hardworking woman a single penny, but the impulsive decision couldn't derail her obligations. In 20 minutes, she was hosting a field trip for foster friends, a local children's charity. If she didn't dilly-dally, she'd have enough in the tank to get to work and home. It came down to fumes and a prayer, the Tuesday night story. A sudden movement caught the corner of her eye. Her big sister Pepper and her sister's fiancé Rhett staggered from the house next door, a laughing tangle of limbs and leashes. Between them, the happy couple owned 4 dogs. At the start of summer, Pepper had moved to Everland for an ill-fated legal clerkship. After losing her job on day 1, she detoured into what had turned out to be the right direction, finding work as a dog walker and falling head over strappy sandals for the hot vet next door. Now, she was spearheading the opening of Everland's rescue shelter as the new executive director. Hey, you. Pepper glanced at her thin wristwatch, brows wrinkling beneath fashionably cut, side-swept bangs. Aren't you running late? Yep. Tuesday restrained a grimace. The one drawback to living next door to such a capable, successful sister was frequently feeling like a hot mess. She cupped a hand to her mouth. Lost my shoes. Again? No surprise registered on Pepper's pretty face. They played their respective roles well, the responsible, dependable, reliable one versus the free-spirited walking disaster. But when Tuesday's world in New York City had spun out of control, she'd headed straight here. Her big sister was true north, even in the deep south. Are we going to see you tonight? Rhett called. They were hosting a potluck dinner around the theme of Southern comfort. Pepper had entrusted her with the napkins. It wasn't meant as an intentionally insulting gesture, but unintentionally, that was a whole other story. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Tuesday cracked a tight smile before driving away. Downtown Everland was more or less deserted this time of morning. The lovingly restored buildings dated back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, but the town was more than a hodgepodge of bright awnings, mom-and-pop-style storefronts, and cheerful planter boxes. The charm lay not just in the brick and mortar, but also the big-hearted, warm and welcoming, if eccentric, citizens. A bay window etched with the words, "What a Treat Candy Boutique," stenciled in calligraphy, caught the morning light. She gasped as today's date hit home. It was What a Treat's owner, Ginger Reed's 30th birthday. For a week, Ginger had been informing customers that she was preparing to enter a mystical time warp, whereupon she'd remain 29 forever. Kitty corner to the shop sat City Hall, the imposing brick building, framed by a profusion of late summer flowers. Perfect. She slammed on the brakes. If she hustled, she could pick a quick bouquet for her friend and leave it in front of the candy shop's door as a surprise. She climbed from Pumpkin and raced over the damp lawn, crouching beneath an office